All right, happy Monday, everyone. I want to go over some of the news from last week and this morning. So, if you saw last week, Netflix offered to buy Warner Brothers Discovery for $83 billion. And earlier today, Paramount offered $108 billion to buy up Warner Brothers Discovery. So if Warner Brothers is looking for the highest bid, I think they got it. And for all the people who were celebrating, saying, "Well, at least it wasn't Larry Ellison." Well, look who's laughing now. Now, Warner Brothers may not accept the offer from Paramount. That's not a guarantee. Um, it's highly likely, in my opinion, because how could you turn down over $100 billion? But who knows? Maybe Warner Brothers they don't want to sell to Larry Ellison. Maybe that is the case. If we go over here to the stock price for Warner Brothers, we can see that they're doing pretty well. Over the past 5 days, they're up 15%, but over the past 2 years, they're up in every metric. Which it was strange. I was looking back at the price chart, and they didn't really take a huge hit in 2020 when the pandemic happened, and then starting late 2021 or late 2020 to early 2021, there was a huge spike right here, and then it drops back down. So I need to do some research. What happened here? Maybe um, I think that's about around the time that they started doing HBO Max. And they started doing a lot of streaming. So maybe just the streaming at home increased a lot. I'm not really sure what happened here, but as far as the recent activity, most likely the insiders and the institutional investors are pumping up trading to make a little bit of cash when the sale does go through. So, what does this mean for streaming services? Well, whatever company takes on Warner Brothers, they're taking on the whole thing, the studios, the streaming service, all of it. So, that is going to increase the cost for those companies to operate. And so, therefore, the price will go up. I can guarantee that regardless of who gets it, Netflix or Paramount, the price will increase at some point. It may not happen immediately as soon as the sale goes through, but I can guarantee because what's happened with streaming services ever since they got started, each year they go up and up, and so um, now what does this mean for the rest of the industry? Well, if Netflix or Paramount, whoever takes it on, if they gain the majority market share, then the rest of the companies are going to start competing. They might have to buy up other studios, like Netflix might have to go after Comcast, or there might be more consolidation of power, and it might get to a point where there's only two streaming services, and all of the different channels are under those two streaming services, or the government could step in and do something. The politicians have been saying that this could create a monopoly, which they are supposed to step in and prevent that kind of stuff from happening. But do they really? Do they really, step in and make changes for the average American, or do they only really do it for themselves? Um, like Elizabeth Warren came out and said that this is a terrible idea, and I I don't trust Elizabeth Warren. I don't think that she cares about the average American. So the fact that she doesn't like the sale makes me actually want to advocate for it. But one thing I can guarantee is that whoever takes it on, the price is going to increase, and I think that is going to happen regardless. One of my concerns for a long time, as the streaming service become more popular, as the cable networks started creating their own streaming services because people started leaving and going to Netflix. One of my concerns was that eventually it's just going to get to a point where you're just going to have a ton of streaming services that equals the same amount as the cable that you used to pay. Or really, I mean, it's going to get to a point where, back 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, you might have been paying $100, $200 for your cable service. Well, now it's going to cost $300 for all in one for a cable service, or you can pay $220 for all of the different streaming services. And so that's been my concern, is that no matter what, the prices are just going to keep going up no matter which way you go. And so my proposition to anyone watching this video: how important is watching your favorite TV show? Are you willing to forego some savings and, putting money aside for your future to be able to watch Netflix, to be able to watch Game of Thrones? I love the show Game of Thrones, but it is not more important than my future. Um, I can watch Netflix or I can watch YouTube for free. I can use X for free. There's things that you can do, that can entertain you. Um, in my opinion, television is not that important. So I encourage people to think about how they spend their money. Look at all of the subscriptions and streaming services that you have. Calculate how much you're paying per month for that. Is it really that important? Could that money go somewhere else? I'm gonna leave it with that. Have a great day.